Wednesday's episode of Beyond the Gates opens with a tense, almost suffocating atmosphere over Fairmont Crest, the camera slowly panning across the ornate hallways as the residents prepare for the storm of revelations looming over them. Tomas, still reeling from last week's near-death confrontation, wakes to a series of cryptic messages left by someone who seems to know more about his past than even he does. His unease mirrored in the shadows of the sprawling estate, while down in the study, Bill pores over a collection of old letters and financial records, each new piece of evidence tightening the web around Haley, whose seemingly casual demeanor hides a meticulously orchestrated plan to manipulate everyone in her orbit. Andre, grappling with the sudden resurfacing of long-buried family secrets, confronts Stan Richardson's enigmatic disappearance and the revelation that Stan, Andre's birth father, is very much alive, sending shockwaves through a sense of identity, as Kat, still hesitant to face the results of her cancer gene test, struggles with fear and denial, the audience seeing the raw, human vulnerability behind her otherwise stoic exterior, juxtaposed against Danny's secretive departure from Fairmont Crest, slipping into the night to meet someone whose identity threatens to upend the fragile alliances within the estate, all the while Leslie, weapon in hand, navigates the labyrinth of deceit surrounding Marcel, finally realizing that his earlier claims of alliance were a trap, each step bringing her closer to a confrontation that could either save or destroy her. Ted, never one to miss a detail, uncovers Carlton's secret marriage, a revelation that destabilizes the carefully curated social order, while June is forced to face old nightmares when Tyrell and Samantha's father is revealed, shattering the fragile sense of normalcy she had tried to maintain. The tension escalating as Anita and Nicole come to grips with the shocking truth that they are not biologically mother and daughter, a twist that challenges their perceptions of family, loyalty, and trust. Marcel continues to weave subtle manipulations in the background, his motivations opaque, forcing characters to question every interaction and alliance. Randy's attempts to stay silent about Tomas's tragic death create friction and suspicion among the residents, with the stakes heightened by Dante's cryptic words that finally make Leslie realize he is her father, a revelation that threatens to destabilize her emotionally as she balances vengeance, protection, and the need for truth. And as the episode builds to a crescendo, Bill's confrontation with Haley becomes inevitable, his declaration that he knows everything she has done setting the stage for a dramatic showdown, while the audience watches anxiously as each character's secrets collide, alliances fracture, and loyalties are tested in a web of intrigue, betrayal, and shocking revelations, punctuated by moments of raw human emotion, strategic cunning, and unpredictable twists that leave viewers questioning who can be trusted, who will survive, and what dark truths will be uncovered next, the camera lingering on tense glances, whispered conversations, and subtle gestures that hint at the chaos to come, all culminating in a suspenseful, edge-of-your-seat ending that promises even greater upheaval in the episodes ahead, as secrets, lies, and hidden agendas intertwine, leaving Fairmont Crest poised on the knife edge of catastrophe and revelation, ensuring that the saga of Beyond the Gates continues to captivate, shock, and enthrall its audience with every heartbeat, every betrayal, and every shocking moment that defines this intricate tapestry of drama. As the night deepens over Fairmont Crest, the tension grows almost tangible, with shadows crawling along the grand walls of the mansion as if echoing the turmoil within. Tomas, still haunted by his recent near-death experience, paces the corridors, replaying cryptic messages and mysterious warnings in his mind, each one suggesting a connection to secrets long buried and alliances that may never have existed in the first place, while Kat, wrestling with the fear of discovering her potential cancer genes, retreats into isolation, her thoughts a storm of what-ifs, flashes of past losses, and the heavy weight of responsibility not only to herself, but to those who love her, as the audience feels her vulnerability magnified by the eerie, flickering lights of her study, contrasted sharply by Danny's covert mission into the city. slipping into the shadows to meet an enigmatic figure whose presence threatens to unravel everything she has been holding together, her clandestine journey laden with tension, as every step could expose her motives, betray her secrets, and tip the precarious balance of power in Fairmont Crest, while downstairs, Bill meticulously pieces together evidence of Haley's manipulations, each discovery like a hammer blow against the facade of normalcy she has maintained, his clenched jaw and determined gaze signaling the storm that is about to be unleashed, as Haley herself moves with careful, almost predatory grace through the mansion, her subtle manipulations weaving chaos with the precision of a master strategist, her smile hiding schemes that could destroy careers, relationships, and lives. Andre's emotional turmoil intensifies as he grapples with the revelation that his father, Stan Richardson, is alive, the confrontation with the ghost of his past forcing him to question every memory, every lesson he has been taught, and every person he has trusted, while June's confrontation with the truth about Tyrell and Samantha's father shakes her to her core, old fears colliding with present threats, leaving her grappling for control in a world that suddenly feels far more dangerous than ever. Marcel, lurking in the shadows, continues to pull strings with invisible threads, his motives a swirling storm of self-interest and hidden vendettas, forcing Leslie, armed and determined, to question the very foundation of her alliances, while Ted uncovers the shocking truth of Carlton's secret marriage, a revelation that ripples across the social hierarchy, destabilizing fragile loyalties and igniting whispers of scandal. Tension building like a coiled spring as Anita and Nicole are forced to confront the unimaginable reality of not being biologically related. The revelation a hammer against the bonds they thought unbreakable, while Randy, caught between loyalty and fear, struggles with the choice to reveal or conceal Tomas's tragic death, his silence a dangerous gamble that could tip the balance toward catastrophe. Dante's subtle words finally shatter Leslie's understanding, revealing him as her father and sending her mind spiraling through a maze of emotion, vengeance, and the painful reconciliation of love and betrayal. And as the episode marches forward, each moment is layered with suspense, the slightest glance, the faintest hesitation, and every whispered word carrying the weight of potential disaster. Bill's confrontation with Haley reaches its inevitable apex, his calm fury a counterpoint to her carefully maintained composure, a clash not just of people but of ideologies, trust, and power. While Tomas discovers a hidden clue linking past events to the present chaos, a revelation that could either save him or seal his fate. The camera lingering on these moments, heightening the tension, emphasizing the fragility of every relationship, the volatility of every secret, and the constant threat of exposure, as the characters navigate a labyrinth of lies, half-truths, and treachery, where every decision carries unimaginable consequences. Alliances fracture under the weight of betrayal, friendships are tested in moments of high drama, and love and loyalty are weighed against ambition and revenge, the episode expertly weaving together personal stakes with larger mysteries, leaving viewers gripping their seats, hearts racing, desperate to see what happens next. As the night stretches on, secrets collide, plans unravel, and the inevitable chaos of Fairmont Crest grows ever closer, promising that no one will leave unscathed, every revelation more shocking than the last. Every action setting off a chain reaction that will reverberate through the lives of all involved, and as the final scenes unfold, the camera captures every expression, every subtle shift in body language, every whispered threat and fleeting glance, ensuring that the audience is fully immersed in the complex, intertwined fates of the characters, each of whom must navigate a perilous landscape of deception, danger, and desire, with no one truly safe, and the night ending not with resolution, but with a quiet, simmering knowledge that the most explosive revelations are still to come, setting the stage for a continued spiral of intrigue, heartbreak, and shocking twists in the episodes ahead. As the tension at Fairmont Crest spirals ever higher, the night seems to stretch endlessly, each room echoing with the unspoken fears and secrets of its inhabitants. Tomas, burdened by cryptic warnings and the shadow of past betrayals, moves cautiously through dimly lit hallways, his mind a chaotic storm of suspicion, paranoia, and determination to uncover the truth, while Kat, torn between the fear of genetic destiny and the longing for control over her own life, sits in the quiet of her room, replaying conversations, revisiting old memories, and imagining worst-case scenarios, her isolation amplified by the soft hum of the estate's distant clocks, each tick marking the inexorable march toward revelation. And yet, Dani's secret journey to meet the mysterious figure outside the estate continues, her every step measured, every glance over the shoulder fraught with the possibility of exposure, as she balances courage and desperation, knowing that the information she is about to receive could either fortify her position or dismantle everything she has fought to protect. Meanwhile, Bill's investigation into Haley's schemes grows more intense, his hands tracing every paper, every ledger, every subtle clue that might reveal the full extent of her manipulation, while Haley herself navigates the mansion like a predator among prey, her smile carefully curated to hide the deadly strategies she has set in motion. And Andre, still reeling from learning that Stan Richardson, the father he thought lost forever, is alive, wrestles with a maelstrom of identity questions, resentment, and the fragile hope of reconciliation as June confronts Tyrell and Samantha's father, old fears and unresolved trauma threatening to swallow her as she faces a reality she had desperately hoped to avoid. And Marcel, a shadowy figure operating with near-invisible influence, continues to sow discord and uncertainty, pulling strings and setting traps that test the instincts, loyalties, and courage of every resident of Fairmont Crest, while Leslie, armed and determined, moves with precision through a maze of half-truths, betrayal, and danger, her every decision weighted with potential consequences, and Ted, uncovering Carlton's secret marriage, watches as the ripple effects of this revelation fracture alliances, provoke suspicion, and ignite whispers of scandal, the entire social hierarchy of the estate trembling under the impact of a secret that could topple reputations and destroy relationships, while Anita and Nicole face the emotional quake of discovering they are not biologically mother and daughter, their relationship suddenly redefined in ways that challenge trust, love, and loyalty. And Randy's internal struggle over whether to speak out about Tomas's tragic death threatens to unravel both his moral compass and the fragile equilibrium of the estate. The silence he maintains a dangerous thread holding back potential catastrophe, and Dante, finally revealing through cryptic words that he is Leslie's father, sends her mind spinning through a whirlwind of emotions: love, betrayal, confusion, and the need for vengeance. All while the ominous presence of hidden enemies grows more palpable, shadows seeming to lengthen with every tense conversation, every subtle glance, every whispered secret. As Bill's long-awaited confrontation with Haley reaches a fever pitch, the clash of intellect, emotion, and moral conviction crackling in the air, Tomas uncovers a new clue linking past misdeeds to the present chaos, each revelation layering further suspense onto an already unstable foundation, while the camera lingers on the smallest gestures, a trembling hand, a hesitant step, a fleeting expression of doubt, emphasizing the fragile, precarious nature of trust, as every interaction carries the weight of potential catastrophe. Alliances shift like sand beneath the characters' feet, friendships are tested in moments of intense pressure, and love, loyalty, and ambition collide violently in ways that no one can fully anticipate, the audience watching as the estate becomes a pressure cooker of emotion, secrets, and danger, each resident forced to confront their own choices, the consequences of deception, and the limits of their endurance. As the episode builds inexorably toward a climax in which revelations and confrontations intersect, leaving no character untouched by the ripple effects of betrayal, manipulation, and hidden truths, the narrative threading through hallways, parlors, and hidden corners with the inexorable tension of a tightly wound clock, every tick a reminder that disaster or revelation is always just one step away, and as the night finally reaches its penultimate moments, the quiet murmurs of plotting, The glances of suspicion, the subtle tightening of alliances, and the careful concealment of truth converge into a maelstrom of suspense, ensuring that the conclusion, though tantalizingly close, does not resolve but rather escalates the stakes, leaving the residents of Fairmont Crest and the audience on the knife edge of anticipation, desperate to know which secrets will be uncovered next, which alliances will survive, and who among them will emerge unscathed from the relentless, twisting web of intrigue, deception, and revelation that defines Beyond the Gates, a story where every heartbeat carries the weight of suspense, every whisper could change destinies, and every shadow may hide a truth more shocking than anything revealed so far, ensuring that the drama, suspense, and tension continue to build toward an even more explosive series of revelations in the episodes yet to come. The atmosphere in Fairmont Crest grows increasingly suffocating as the night deepens, the ornate chandeliers casting long, flickering shadows that seem almost alive, crawling across the walls and echoing the inner turmoil of the estate's residents. Tomas, haunted not only by his near-death experience, but by the sudden resurgence of long-buried family secrets, moves carefully through the hallways, replaying cryptic messages over and over in his mind, each phrase a puzzle piece pointing to betrayals he cannot yet fully understand, his heartbeat quickening as he imagines unseen eyes following his every move, while Kat, trapped between fear and stubborn defiance, sits alone in her room, staring at the envelope containing her cancer gene test results, her mind torn between the desire to know and the terror of facing an outcome that could forever change her sense of self. Each shadow in her room a reflection of the anxiety gnawing at her, and yet Danny, cloaked in secrecy, slips through the silent corridors of the city, her every step deliberate, her glances over her shoulder sharp, knowing that exposure could cost her not only her carefully constructed plans but potentially her life. While Bill's meticulous investigation into Haley's actions intensifies, his fingers tracing every ledger, every handwritten note, every subtle clue with the precision of a detective unraveling a labyrinthine conspiracy, as Haley, moving with predator-like grace, masks her scheming. Behind a calm, almost seductive composure, each word she utters a carefully crafted instrument of manipulation, a tool to bend others to her will without their knowledge. Andre, still reeling from the revelation that Stan Richardson, the father he believed lost forever, is alive, struggles with conflicting waves of hope, resentment, and disbelief, as June confronts the chilling reality of Tyrell and Samantha's father, forcing her to face ghosts of her past, old fears colliding with present dangers, leaving her both vulnerable and fiercely determined, while Marcel, lurking in the shadows, executes invisible schemes, twisting relationships and provoking doubt, uncertainty and paranoia, and Leslie, armed and resolute, navigates a web of half-truths, betrayal, and danger, each decision a delicate balance between survival, justice, and revelation, while Ted uncovers the secret of Carlton's hidden marriage, a bombshell revelation whose ripple effects threaten to destabilize social hierarchies, ignite scandal, and expose the delicate facades of trust and loyalty, as Anita and Nicole grapple with the seismic shock of discovering they are not biologically mother and daughter, the revelation shaking the very foundation of their bond and forcing them to confront questions of identity, connection, and what truly defines family. And Randy, struggling with the moral weight of keeping silent about Tomas's tragic death, becomes a living embodiment of the tension suffusing the estate, his every hesitation a threat to the fragile equilibrium, while Dante, with cryptic words that reveal him as Leslie's father, shatters her understanding of loyalty, love, and identity, sending her mind into a whirlwind of emotion as she confronts the intertwined complexities of vengeance, protection, and reconciliation. And as the night progresses, every glance, every gesture, every whispered word becomes loaded with potential meaning, suspense building in layers as Bill's confrontation with Haley reaches a fever pitch, the tension between them crackling like electricity. Tomas uncovers yet another clue linking past misdeeds to present dangers, amplifying the sense of impending doom, while minor interactions, A shared glance in the hallway, a subtle hand movement, a brief pause in speech take on outsized significance. The audience aware that even the smallest actions may tip the balance toward revelation or disaster. Alliances shift under pressure, friendships are tested, and the line between trust and betrayal becomes increasingly blurred. Love, loyalty, ambition, and vengeance colliding in unpredictable ways, the camera lingering on expressions of fear, suspicion, and determination, every detail magnified to heighten the stakes as secrets, half-truths, and schemes intertwine, threatening to engulf every resident of Fairmont Crest in a cascading chain of consequences. The tension mounting relentlessly as the episode unfolds, each revelation layering upon the next. The night a labyrinth of suspense, uncertainty, and escalating danger, with the estate itself almost seeming to breathe with the collective anxiety of its inhabitants, and even the physical spaces, the long hallways, the flickering candlelit rooms, the hidden corners, become extensions of the psychological pressure, the mansion itself a character in the drama, amplifying fears, echoing whispers, and reflecting the fragile state of each character's mind, ensuring that every moment, every decision, every glance carries the weight of potential catastrophe as the narrative threads of Tomas, Kat, Danny, Bill, Haley, Andre, June, Marcel, Leslie, Ted, Anita, Nicole, Randy, and Dante intertwine with perfect narrative tension, creating a relentless, unbroken tapestry of suspense, deception, emotional intensity, and shocking revelation, culminating in a penultimate crescendo that promises the storm of consequences and truths yet to come, leaving viewers breathless and desperate to uncover the next shocking twist, the next hidden secret, and the next betrayal that will further shake the foundations of Fairmont Crest as the night closes not with resolution, but with the simmering certainty that the most dramatic, explosive, and devastating revelations are still to come, setting the stage for the next chapter of intrigue, suspense, and human drama in Beyond the Gates.